Hello there everyone. Today we're going to tie a salmon fly. We're going to tie this. This is the rubber rocket. Basically it's composed quite a lot like the Tilder and Astrid fly. It has 3 hackles and some weight, but what sets this fly out from the others is the 4 rubber legs. And I must say this is kind of more almost like intruderish in the way that it's done. And the reason why I wanted to do this as a video is because I was fishing with Boar the other day, and we'd fished some water, and on the third move across the same stretch of water, he landed a very nice salmon, but it was the first time that he had this fly over the fish. So and he was fishing behind me. So I was gonna tie some from my box because this in general has a different color scheme than the other flies. I like the black here and the yellow, but I wanted to tie some of these for my box because I was really impressed by how it looked in the water, and also Bo caught another salmon on this the day after. So I was gonna tie some from my box anyway, and I thought why not share this fly with the world, because it deserves to. It really looks awesome in the water, and I'm gonna use this fly for, you know, the tricky days where perhaps you have been fishing with the flies that you normally use and stuff like that, and if none of that happens, then this could be the joker that makes or breaks the day. So I'm gonna have some of these rubber rockets in my box from now on, now I'm going to show you how to tie it. And of course, you can buy the full material kit and stuff like that for this fly on my web shop. It's called Nordic Anglers. So swing by the shop or stay tuned and see the full fly being tied. So, as I was saying, today we're going to tie the TTT Francis, an improvement of the Pluck Francis, I think, and also a very much cheaper fly than the Pluck Francis. You can tie this in a lot of different colors. The first thing we need is of course a fish tube. This is the color gold, and this is the size X small, which is the size that all the Frodin things fits on. So I just made a small, with the lighter, just made a small column, and then I'm gonna take my my TTT tube, turbo tungsten tube in metallic yellow, and this is the size medium because I want this fly to get down deep fast, and then I simply just push the inner tube into there, like so. And I can just pull that tight, so it stays there. The reason why I do it in this order is this makes it easier for me to actually push the tube onto. I made a mistake there. I didn't make the collar big enough, so I'm just gonna do. I had one lying here, so you can see here the collar is bigger. And basically I'm gonna do exactly the same thing as before. Maybe it wasn't completely maybe it had not hardened from the melting. So push it on there, and then I use the TTT tube to get this really. Oh, that was a bit too much. And that's actually one of the reasons why I've also switched tube fly needle. I'm now tying with the Frodin. It's called something strange. It's called tube fly device with a fits needle, and I really like this tube flying device because it gives you the option to move your needle further away or closer to the jaws of your tying vise, and that's for smaller flies. That's really is an improvement. So I need to make sure that this is aligned. Okay. So now we're ready. For this fly, we're going to tie directly on the TTT tube, and we're not going to go onto the tube in front of this. So basically, I just get my tying thread all the way up to the cone, and this cone will ensure that this fly will move some water. It also, of course, adds some weight, but it will ensure that my materials gets kind of like a corona effect, and looks really nice in the water, and also and also keeps the material up into the current, so they will move better. The first thing we need is some brown Arctic fox. And as you can see with Arctic fox, there's a lot of coarser hairs, and I want this tail part to be rather uniform. So I'm gonna pull out all of these longer hairs, and the same in the other end. There's too much wool here, so I'm gonna pull out some of the shorter woolly parts here. And it's quite essential to groom your materials in order to get the best results. So there you can see I have a very much more nice and uniform wing here. So like that. Maybe I should even pull a bit more out of this. So you see, much more uniform. Then I take this and I try to distribute it all the way around my TTT cone. Tube, whatever you want to call it. And then I make 2 loose turns and then tighten it a bit. And then I look all the way around to see if this is fairly evenly distributed. Otherwise I can pull on it and mangle it so that it's in the place that I want it. And it is that now. And then you need a very sharp scissor, because using these TTT tubes, you don't have that much room to tie on, because basically you'll meet the end of the TTT tube, and so a very sharp, very pointy scissors is nice for this, so you can really cut the materials all the way close to where you tied it down. This is a tungsten scissor, a really nice scissor. It's the best quality you can get of scissors, tungsten. But the thing with tungsten is, if you're not careful, it can, and if you drop it, for instance, on a hard floor or something like that, the tip will break. So take care of your equipment, and they will of course last longer. So that's the first thing. Then we're gonna need some boar bristles, and I don't know what it is about these boar bristles, but for some reason they just seem to have an almost magical appeal to sea trouts and to salmon. The thing about these boar bristles is they're very stiff hairs, and they're kind of split in the end, giving them a very nice look on flies like this. And we want these to be in 45 degrees, no, in 90 degrees angle from one another. So they should be. You need 4, and you need 4 on that points out. And these have a natural curve, so it's important that you tie them so that the natural curve points outwards. And the easiest way to do this is, as you can see, they're fairly long. So basically I take one of these and then I twist it around my tying thread, like this. So this way I can easily pull it to the position where I want it. This one, for instance, I want this on the other side of me because that makes more sense. No, yeah, like this. And then I'm gonna take the second one. The second one I'm gonna put on top. I need to clamp that to fasten that a bit more, the vise here. As you can see, I can easily pull it exactly where I want it to be placed. Take another one. I'm gonna put this underneath. For some reason, this is tilting a bit on me. Oh, that's okay, it works now. And then the last one, And this part of the fly is basically the only part that is a bit tricky to get right. But I mean, if you have 4 on there, then you have 4 on there, and that's probably gonna be fine. And if you want them shorter or longer, you can pull in either side of this to make it shorter or longer to get them to have the right length. Mine is fine now, so I'm gonna cut the. I need to do a bit more tying thread, apply a bit more pressure, I see, to these to make them stay in place like this. Cutting away those. Then we need some crystal flash. 4 strands of crystal flash. And for this, I'm very fond of this new flash dispenser. So I'm gonna take 4 strands of flash, and I'm gonna attach them exactly the same way as I did with the boar bristles. If you haven't gotten boar bristles, I highly recommend that you get some. It's a truly awesome material for stuff like that, for stuff like this. So basically, I do exactly the same with the flash here. And if you want this fly to look as cool as possible, then you want the flash to be in between the boar bristles, so that you have something sticking out at every 45 degrees. Or you can just place it just on top of the... It's not that important, it just looks really cool for Instagram and stuff like that if you do it at that angle. So you have something moving out from your fly at every 45 degrees. I see this one hasn't, but you know, it's gonna go directly into the box to fish salmon, so it's not that important. But it looks really awesome on pictures. I don't think the salmon mind either way. So now I have 4. And now we need the last thing for this fly, and we need a hackle. So I'm gonna take a yellow hen hackle, and you can use either a saddle or a cape or some loose feathers from the loose mesh feathers. But I highly recommend that you get a cape or a saddle, because the loose bags of mesh feathers are very inexpensive, but the quality, unfortunately, is also, well, you get what you pay for, like with anything else. But they're cheap, so it's an easy way to get started. But you will find that you will not find that many of exactly the right feathers for the same size of flies, for instance. And a cape and a saddle is always the way to go, and always what I recommend the most. Well, there we go. I tied this in at the tip, so the feather was the most colorful. The shiny part of the feather was pointing upwards, and then basically just fold the things back here. While you turn the hackle. It's a peculiar looking fly, this one, but it's deadly, both for sea trout during daytime fishing, but also for salmon. It's a deadly pattern, this one. It looks so bizarre, it looks so strange, kind of out of this world. I posted a picture of this fly some time ago on social media, and someone said it looked exactly like the coronavirus when you take a picture of this from behind. But I'm not gonna call it that. I don't think that would be in. I think that would be in poor taste. But it really is a cool pattern. that I really will enjoy fishing. Some flies you can just tell that they are gonna be a crucial part of your fly tying of your box in the future, and that these patterns are gonna catch a lot of fish. And this is definitely one of them. Also because I wouldn't say the ancestors, but the other flies of this type really has performed astoundingly well, both in Denmark, in Sweden, in Russia, in Iceland, everywhere. So this new, easier, faster way of doing this, I am very confident that this is going to be a fly that really performs well. So basically now all we need is to get the tube in shape here, and of course add some varnish. So I just make sure that my tube is pulled very tight up into the TTT disc. Cut off the leftover here, and then I'm gonna melt down the tube like so, and I'm gonna put in my dubbing needle to make sure there's room for my leader, and there you have it. And as you can see, it looks completely out of this world from behind. I can see I got the ankles almost at 90 degrees. Almost at 90 degrees. So there you have it, the TTT Francis. And of course, this pattern is something I'm going to use in the yellow and brown like this, but also the orange one is going to be deadly, and even a silver and gray would be really cool for this, or a red. And basically the only thing you would have to change in order to make this fly, give this fly a completely different look, is the front hackle. So if you, for instance, and of course the TNT disc, the TTT disc. So basically another color of front hackle and another color of disc, and you'll have a fly that looks very different, and will be good for different circumstances, different types of water. But TTT Francis, as always, you can get the full material kit for this fly and for many other proven flies on my web shop. It's Nordic Anglers, and if you haven't done so already, it would mean a lot to me if you would subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching this, and well, good luck out on the waters.